Hi, everyone. All right. I got all your texts. I got all your messages. I know how scared, worried, fearful, anxious, all of that you are. So let me just explain it like I'm going to explain it to a 5-year-old. Okay. So early in the workshops last year, this year, I explained to you that I'm not a medium. I don't see. I don't have those things. Okay. But I did explain how, and I gave you a few examples. One of the examples was I said to you, 2019, someone come along with wanting to sign a contract. The contract, I gave them the best 2 hours of the month to sign the contract because the rest of the days went that crash hot. So we chose hours in that way, and they did. When I asked what is the contract for, it's for a camp. Camp. Okay, why would we need a camp? Nothing more about it. Let it go. 2020 comes in. Surprise, surprise. Then somebody else comes in. It's for a lab. Sorry, this lab's not going to work. There's no money in the charts. There's no money between you and whoever. So the contract, no. Person did the contract anyway because doesn't worry me. They paid me. Show me the money. That's it. But the pin was pulled on a lab because there's labs all over the world anyway for us. Ask Scotch Lamington. What a cool name for him. Thanks, Sushi Mango. Anyway, so what ended up happening is I tell you things. How, why, etc. I've got to explain what I did say in a post this week. So this is how it also works. So somebody is signing contracts. They are signing contracts, big contracts. Big companies are signing contracts. The contracts are you will not be allowed out of your house if you haven't had the full caboodle. Okay? So this is going to happen. And last time a lot of you sent me things saying, it can't happen. It's not in our constitutional. It's not this. They can't change. You've been saying that for 2.5 years, and look where we are. So get over it. And if you want to do something, then get up and do something. Join Parliament, because it's the only way these twats can be taken care of. So let me explain it. We have this year the 5 in the center. So that's the year, okay? And it flies like the DNA helix, okay? And that's what we call the flying stars. So in Victoria this year we have a 4. The basic, which is from the day this began, once upon a time, the basic is also exactly the same. Okay, so do you see why this year is that way? The last time we had something like that was in 2013, where the 5 was in the center and the basic that is always there in that center was already there. And then in June, we got what's called MERS, Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome System, whatever. It was in June. Then we had the financial crisis, okay? So this 5 in the center is already, as I have said in the workshops, the whole world is going into bankruptcy. It's difficulty, obstacles, and destruction. How do we destroy ourselves in this day and age? It's money, okay? So it's bankruptcy. How is the world going to go into bankruptcy? Don't ask me. I just know they are because I trust the science. All right. So that's those. So you can see how everywhere it mimics. In Victoria, this energy is stuck, no flow, negative relationships, people, government, whoever. Okay. Plus that 4 is a rope. It's a rope. How do people, in the old days, how did people suicide? They hung themselves. So that's what's happening here in Victoria. I know you don't see it, but I hear about it all the time. Okay. And it's like this is the ultimate. It tells you everything, seriously. So what we have this month in Victoria is we have what we call the sixth. So the sixth is those in authority. So those in authority are going to hang themselves this month. Yeah. So those in authority that are going to hang themselves, or they're going to do the wrong thing, and we're going to know about it. That's how it works. So then when we look at it from next month, for next month, so next month in Victoria, we have a 5. Okay, that's in July. So that means we are totally bankrupted, or there's no money for anything. Okay, and this is when they start the new workforce thing, the work for the dog. Okay, so do you see how this is going? Then in August, there's another 4 there. Okay, we're not getting out of this. This 4 is the stuck, no flow. Actually means you can't walk anywhere, you can't go anywhere, you can't take a step. You go to stretch and you're not allowed to stretch. That's how this works. So this is where my info comes from most 90% of the time. All right, so at the moment, there are contracts with big companies that they're not allowed to employ people or open the door for anybody that hasn't. So for you to go to the supermarket, if you don't have all your things, you will not be allowed to shop. You won't be allowed to do pickups, and you won't be allowed to do whatever. I know what you're thinking. I know. They can't do that. But like I said to you, then stand up and do something about it. Don't just sit there thinking that a twat is going to take care of you. You know, the only way he's going is when they dig a hole, because he didn't bankrupt the state totally. We are still going and fighting. And they wanted this as one of those 5G cities, if you want to call it that, or smart cities, and we won't let them. So we're already pretty strong. We're Australians. We're savvy. I came from another country, but I'm Australian, okay? So pull your head in, pull your head out of the sand and do something. I'm going to do something. So if I can do it, I'm not working, I'm not doing any of that. I'm doing something. So do something, all right? If this doesn't show you how you can make a difference, then put your head back in the sand, put your Netflix back on, etc. Okay? So it's up to you. But when we get to August, it is that stuck. And when it becomes this stuck, you're not allowed out. You're not allowed out. And this is when you are angry, but you are angry with those at the top, not with your brothers, sisters, colleagues. You're angry with those at the top, which is already here now. Because we have the 6, we're already angry with those at the top. And something's going to be done. So don't be surprised. And I'm not putting it out there. I'm just saying don't be surprised when those at the top are meeting their maker one by one, because the energy is that strong, and you've all felt it. The energy is that strong. And look at the universe. We've had rain up here for what, over a month. It hasn't stopped. My worms are drowning. I have to save my worms. They're just going everywhere out of the pots and the garden. Yeah, that's all I care about. So hopefully that helps you that little bit to understand where all of this comes from. And yes, there are contracts left, right, and centre happening right now. And there's plenty of army contracts, all right? Plus, there's plenty of contracts that are already done and dusted with cars for police and army and whatever. So you can't do a thing about it. They can just come through your place and you have nothing to say. And keep that in mind because you guys did not vote freedom. You did not. You became complacent. So you want your freedom, then show it. That's all I can say. Yeah, I'm angry. All right. Have a great day after all that.